From the studios of the Richmond Register, it's this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. Every Thursday night at 9 o'clock, Richmond Register sports editor Nathan Hutchinson and Richmond Register sports writer Ricky Barker will talk about this week in Madison County sports. Welcome to the show.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue.
All right, well, welcome everybody to the latest edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. I am Richmond Register sports editor Nathan Hutchinson. This is Richmond Register sports editor Ricky Barker, and we are back with another exciting week of stuff. A lot of golf to talk about this week. We'll have six guests on. We get more guests every week, so we'll have a lot of golf talk here in a little bit, but all kinds of fun stuff to talk about. Homecoming, district soccer's coming up, all kinds of fun stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You ready? So you ready?
I'm always ready, Nathan.
Okay, well, we are back. This is our third edition of the show, so we're kind of getting a feel for this and kind of getting our feet under this. We're not TV personalities, but we are very happy, like we've always said, to have the only all local Madison County sports show here in town. So that's a great sense of pride for us that we have only local people and we do this
Absolutely.
Just for local folks. Well, let's start off with golf. We did have the two high school golf regionals earlier this week on Monday out at Keene Trace in Nicholasville. The Madison Central girls finished second. They shot a 324 and finished 10 strokes behind LCA. Good news, bad news. Good news is you finished second. The bad news is the rules have changed and only one team from each region gets to go to the state tournament. So as a team, Madison Central girls will not advance. But they do have two individuals who get to go on. Madtie Neeley finished tied for the lead, actually. Went under and went to a playoff and lost on the playoff to Laney Fry. And Reagan Clark, she shot a plus 81, and she also got an at-large bid to the state tournament. And they will be here in just a minute to talk about it. So we had Madtie on 2 weeks in a row.
She's
very popular.
Returning guest.
Yeah. Three shows, and she's already been on two of them. So
hopefully we'll have her on again if she wins state.
Yes, yeah, that's very true. Elizabeth Eberly shot an 82 and tied for seventh. She just missed an at-large bid. The top team and then the top seven individuals from each region got to go. She did finish tied for seventh, but lost in a playoff, so she just missed out on going. Clara Beth Ramsey shot a 90, and Catherine Taylor shot a 91. On Tuesday over at Kearney Hill in Lexington, the boys also finished second, so the same situation. They shot a 293, which is their lowest score of the year. Unfortunately, LCA shot a 290, and they get the team bid. And just like the girls, they had two individuals qualify, but as a team, they will not go. Freshman Clay Pendergrass, 171, tied for fourth, so he will go. And sophomore Cooper Eberly shot an even round of 72, tied for sixth, and he'll get to go. And also, Gavin McCune also he tied for seventh and had to go to a playoff, and he also lost just like Elizabeth Eberly did. So a lot of very similarities between the girls and the boys the past couple of days in the golf. But Warren Thomas also with a 76 and Bryce Knapp with an 80. Of course, last weekend was homecoming.
Yes, it was.
In Madison County.
All three schools.
All three of the football playing schools had homecomings. It was very exciting. Big crowds at all three schools. Down at Berea, who were your king and queen at Berea?
King and queen was king was Lucas Hannon, and the queen was Madison Cummins. So congrats to both of them.
Madison Cummins has been our athlete of the week.
Yes, she has. Plays soccer.
Yes.
And at Southern, it was Jaden Centers and Elizabeth Pruitt.
Yep. And over at Madison Central, it was Ashton Holberg. And guess who? Mattie Jo Neeley. she's a very popular person on this show the last couple of weeks.
We love Mattie.
And she'll be on here in a minute to talk about that as well. But it's always fun. We always love to see the reaction of the kids and when they get selected and everybody comes out and everybody looks so nice in their outfits.
It's a great moment.
It's just part of the tradition of high school sports. It's always a lot of fun. But there were also games, obviously, associated with that as well. Berea, another win. We go to 5-0, 37-21 over Sayre. Jaden Cunningham, three rushing touchdowns, 198 yards on the ground. Timmy Thompson had a rush touchdown. Jalen Whitaker had a rushing touchdown. And the team that once lost 43 straight is 5-0.
Defeated.
Heading into a matchup this weekend with Dayton, which is 4-1. That's a little small school way up on the Ohio River up in the
they
Cincinnati
get to travel.
area. That's a long trip coming up. But great for them. Like I said, 5-0. 6 straight wins if you take the Jellicoe win from last year. So from 43 straight losses to 6 straight wins. So it's very, very cool for those guys.
It's a great turnaround.
And you were there Saturday or Friday down in Berea for that kind of crazy finish with the Southern Collins game.
Yes, it was. It was a back and forth game. I mean, people that kind of missed the ending, you missed the best part of it. Less than 2 minutes to go, Collins tied it up, and Walt Smith, Tobias Storm, came through for him. Walt Smith got a touchdown. And then Tobias Storm went for the 2-point conversion, got the win. Collins had a chance to take it back from him with a field goal, missed it. So
actually, the penalty, and they missed it again, right?
Yes,
missed it twice.
He had 2 chances to get it. They got Southern got a penalty, pushed it up 15 yards, and it came up short. So Southern got the first district win for him.
Yeah, gutsy call from John Clark. I mean, you could just kick the extra point to tie it, but they said no, we're going to go for 2 and take the lead, and. So they went for it.
Those kids are so confident. Tobias Storm and Walt Smith, they knew what they needed to do, and they got it done. They were ready to win. I think Walt Smith said after the game, we lost. We're going to put it behind us. This is district play. These are big moments, and we're going to come through and get the win. And on homecoming, so. Yeah,
3-3 on the year now. 1-0 in district. They will go to East Jessamine next week. A team that is 4-2. So that'll be a tough trip over to Nicholsville. It's one of those long trips. It's one of those where you can't get there from here. You got to go up through Lexington and back around, and they'll probably have to leave right after school gets out to get there. Just like Berea to get up to Dayton.
Another long game, a long night for them, because we had a lightning delay. So did you over at Central?
Yeah, at Central it was it was rough night for the Indians. They were coming off their first win of the season, hoping to build some momentum off of that, but a Dixie Heights team that came in with only 1 win and had been shut out 3 times, but they looked a lot better than that. I mean, they went to a 38-23 win, and Central had a couple of late touchdowns and actually got the ball back, and looked like they were going to be able to try to get back in it again, but just ran out of time. And Cannon Centers had 2 touchdown passes. Adrian Parks had a rushing touchdown. John Lansall and Ashton Holberg had touchdown catches as well. Central's off this week before they jump into district play, and I guess this is a tough one for them because they kind of thought they'd gotten things turned around, and the team, kind of the mantra was turn the page, and and they thought getting that big win over Lafayette would do that. So hopefully a week off, maybe they can get a little healthy and they can get back on track and before they get going into their district play as well. Tough trip to Oldham County coming up. That's another long trip. There's a lot of theme developing here with that. So, and of course, Eastern Kentucky football, they were on the road for 3 straight games. Came back this past weekend to open conference play with Tennessee State. It's a team that, when those 2 teams play each other, there's an extra kind of juice that goes around. I don't know why that is, but Tennessee State had beaten them 2 times in a row. This time, Eastern took care of business 42-16. Just smashed them in the mouth with the running game, and I mean Eastern has Daryl McCleskey and Alonzo Booth. They got McCleskey's kind of the shifty, kind of smaller back, and the Booth's just the big barrel of bowling ball that can just kind of run you over. And McCleskey goes for a 202 on the ground with 2 touchdowns. Booth with 115 on the ground with 2 touchdowns. Parker McKinney, who took over as a starting quarterback, 13 for 24, 1 touchdown, and more importantly, no interceptions. And EKU goes to 3-3 on the season, 1-0 in the conference, and they got a big matchup this weekend at Roy Kidd Stadium against UT Martin. Skyhawks beat Murray State 40-7 last week. So both those teams are 1-0 in conference, coming off big wins. So that'll be a big one over there, 3 o'clock Saturday at Roy Kidd Stadium.
And it'll be EKU homecoming.
Yep. It's just homecoming all around.
Keep on rolling through the homecomings.
Yeah, and then on Tuesday, in addition to having the boys golf region, we had the annual Mad Pink game, which is one of our favorite events of the year to cover. It's
a great game, great competition, great cause.
Yeah, Madison Central, Madison Southern every year play each other twice in volleyball during the regular season, but one of the games every year is the game where they raise money for charity, and it rotates back and forth. This year it was at Southern, but it was the first time they played, Southern had won, and everybody kind of, Southern was at home this time, so kind of figured they might be able to come out and sweep them, but Central came out strong on them.
Oh yeah, Central made them work for it. They lost the first set. Central came out, grabbed the first set, and then Southern had to kind of rally and cover recover from that, and then they've got the next 3 sets, so it went to 4 sets.
Oh, they really, the last set was like, what, 25 to 8 or something?
25 to 7 was the 4th set, the final set.
And they really came on and showed, and that all but locks up the number 1 seed for them. They will be the number 1 seed in the district tournament. And those 2 teams usually meet in the finals anyway, so it really doesn't matter who's the 1 or the 2 seed. They usually end up playing each other again anyway, but obviously the dynamic duo there for Southern did it again. Alyssa Evans with 17 kills, 15 digs, and Sarah Mitchell with 15 kills, 21 digs, and 4 aces. And those 2 kids are just unbelievable. Sarah Mitchell scares me. Just how hard she hits the ball.
She's a beast.
Oh my gosh! She gets up there and cocks that right hand. Just get out of the way. Yeah,
and that the win over Central marks 10 straight wins for Southern volleyball.
Yeah, they are just rolling along. And Haven Combs had 7 kills to lead Central as well. And they said more than likely we'll see them play again in a couple weeks in the district championship game.
Another battle.
Yeah, they always seem to play each other in the district final. It always seems to go right to the end every time. That's a couple of weeks away, but the district for soccer will start on Monday. It's already here. We're wrapping up last couple of games tonight. We filmed this on Wednesday night. It doesn't come out till Thursday, so some teams were playing tonight. But for the most part, everybody has about 1 game left, and so the 44th district soccer tournament will be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at Southern. It is scheduled to be played on the grass. I'm assuming if there's weather issues or whatever, they may move over to the turf on the football field. But on Monday night, you will have Southern and Berea, both boys and girls. That'll be 6 and 7:45. And then on Tuesday, you'll have Central Model, both boys and girls, at 6 and 7:45. And the title game will be on Wednesday night at 7:45. And a lot of teams playing really well there. I mean, it could be interesting to see how that all turns out. I mean, a lot of those teams are pretty evenly matched, and just be one bounce here or there, and could decide district championship. So
I think it'll be a lot of good games.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting. And we'll do a little quick soccer recap here of other stuff that's going on in the high school soccer world. On Monday night, model coach Steve Savage got his 300th career win, and
congratulations!
And in an amazing fashion too, because the model went up to Lexington Catholic and beat the Knights 1-0 to get him that win, and that's was their 7th straight win, and just obviously to go up there and beat that team on their home field. And Model started off 1-4, and you look at that schedule, and Steve started the year with 289 wins, and you were looking at that schedule going, man, after you drop 4 to your first 5, where do you get 11 more wins? And a lot of people, I was looking at it going, man, I hope he can get there, but they did it for him, and he's got the 300th win, so they're just rolling along. The only loss they've had in the last month was the shootout loss to LCA in the 11th Regional All-A championship game.
Yes.
So they're rolling along pretty well, and so is the Central boys as well. They have a 7-game unbeaten streak. They beat Harrison County 3-0 on Tuesday on their senior night, and the Central girls as well. They a 7-game unbeaten streak
on their senior night.
Yeah, they beat Bryan Station 4-0 on Monday when you were there, and some other teams is going along pretty good too there.
Yeah, Southern beat Pulaski 4-0 on Tuesday, and they've only had 1 loss in the last 11 games.
Yeah, and
then the Berea boys on their senior night beat North Laurel, and JP Weidman came up late, got the game-winning goal for them.
Yeah, it's been a rough year for them. They haven't gotten a lot of wins, but North Laurel's a pretty good team, and they get a 2-1 win. And like I said, on senior night, it's always pretty cool. And I know you were there; it was a pretty cool moment.
Oh gosh, they were really hyped up. You could tell once they had tied up the game that they were ready to go. And I think one of the players said it was like a frenzy. He had never seen a soccer game move so fast of who was going to get the win, and it was Berea.
They were down 1-0 until they tied it up late, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah. And then JP Wyman came out and got it. Just a nice smooth kick right over the defenders into the net. And they celebrated.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff going on. We have state golf is coming up this week. The girls go first Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the boys Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We have district soccer, so we're just kind of rolling along here. Lots of stuff going on. Like I said, Central football's off this week, but Southern at East Jessamine, Berea at Dayton, and a lot of stuff going on. So it's a busy time of the year. It's a lot of fun, but we appreciate you guys watching. We're going to, like I said, we have 6 guests coming on here in a little bit. We have both the golf coaches from Madison Central. We have Kyle Congleton, the boys coach, and Tennye Orr, the girls coach. And we also have all of our state qualifiers. We have Clay Pendergrass and Cooper Eberly and Mattie Jo Neeley and Reagan Clark. So they'll all be here with us, and we'll give a little insight into what happened at the region tournaments last week, and then we'll look ahead to Bowling Green next week as well. So stay with us, and we'll be right back.
Thank you for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show, brought to you by Nuevo Vallarta.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are here today with Madison Central boys golf coach Kyle Congleton and Madison Central girls golf coach Tennye Orr. Both teams earlier this week finished second at the Region 9 tournament. The boys played Tuesday over at Kearney Hill, finished second behind LCA, and the girls on Monday were over at Keene Trace and finished second behind LCA as well. Congratulations to both of you. Unfortunately, it's kind of a bittersweet congratulations because finishing second in maybe the toughest region in the state is a great accomplishment, but unfortunately, according to the new rules, as a team, neither one of your teams will advance to the state.
No.
I know obviously you've been very vocal about this change. I'm going to let you have the floor, Tennye.
I have been very vocal because it's an unfair rule, and it's a penalty to our girls and to the boys, and anybody else who's a runner-up, because they put in a lot of hard work. Mm-hmm. I just think there was no research done on it. No matter what they say, they did no research. They didn't talk to the professionals, the rules officials who come and do the tournaments and find out what was best for golf. They were just doing it to satisfy something they want to do to make the regions more equal. Well, we know the regions are not equal because we had 20 schools in our region with 17 schools playing, and you've got other regions that only have 3 teams playing, at least in the girls division. The boys were a little bit like that too, with a ton of individuals. So we got individuals coming next week who are shooting 110. They get to come to the state, but they're not. Hopefully they'll have a good experience.
Yeah.
I won't be.
Let's be realistic. We'll be realistic about it. They have no chance to win. You had a chance to win. You were the number 2 ranked team in the state according to the golf coaches rankings.
Yes.
You shot a 324 on Monday, which was 10 strokes behind LCA, but much better than any other team probably that qualified in the state.
Yes, and I would say I would stack our golf course up that we played, condition-wise, harder than any other course in the state. From the standpoint that we were playing on greens that were a speed of 13 and firm, fast greens, firm, fast fairways that makes the kids play a different style of golf instead of just trying to hit at the green. You have to play short and bump up, and there's a lot more strategy involved when you have that type of thing. I'm not saying the other courses are bad. I just think we need to find a way to have a standardized regional
to get the best teams at the state tournament.
Yes.
Yeah. The way they're doing it this year, not even close.
Yeah, because in years past they have brought 2 teams every year, and you guys had made it 3 straight years, right?
As far as my coaching, yes, we've made it there 3 straight years, winning region twice, runner-up last year, and last year we were as runner-ups. We made our best finish on the boys' side with fourth place. Mm-hmm. That was our best finish at Central in over 20 years as a regional runner-up.
Yeah. So, and 2 years ago, you guys won the region, beat LCA, and then LCA won the state championship. Goes on and
wins the state championship.
Well, same thing for us last year. We come up and we beat LCA at our course at Gibson Bay. Mm-hmm. Had this rule been in place, LCA would have not have had a chance in the girls' division to win. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I know they have a long history of going, because this is only my 2nd year coaching with them, and to not be able to take the full team is sort of hurtful and disappointing for them, because they've put so much hard work into it. But it's the system that we are dealt with. At least we've got 2 players from each team going down there and representing the school. Mm-hmm. And for me, it's 2 seniors who've been the backbone for the program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mattie Jo Neeley and Reagan Clark are both going to go as individuals, and for the boys, Clay Pendergrass and Cooper Eberly are both going to be there as well. I want to talk to you about you won a region championship, an individual region championship. You went to the state as part of a team.
Yes, sir.
And that's part of the fun of all this is you get to go up there to Bowling Green for 2 days with your teammates. That whole experience, and I mean that's obviously something. Unfortunately, this group's going to miss out on. But just talk about. You've talked about how great that experience was as a player, and then bringing it back as a coach.
Yes, sir. No, you nailed it on the dot there. Like I said, I've been there as an individual, been there as a team, been there as a coach, and a lot of the reason I'm coaching high school golf is because of the experience of the state tournament as a team. I remember coming up the fairway my senior year in the final group, which we were in third place going in the final round, so we were the last group coming in, and I told my high school coach then that I'll be back one day. It's that fun of experience, and that's what it's been for years. So for it to have such a high impact on me as a junior golfer and as a kid, it was yesterday. It was exciting to have 2 kids qualify, and not to take anything away from them, but as a coach, you're also bummed out that you don't get to take your whole team when you've been with them all year. Yesterday, from my 1 to 5, man, they played absolutely great, and they did everything I asked as a coach. They worked their butts off. They grinded from their first tee shot to their last putt, and to see them so dedicated and have their best round of the year, I mean, that's what hurts more than anything as a coach. So, and to know that I was there as an individual once and been there as a team, it's a whole lot more fun as a team. And I feel like that's high school golf is based on a team sport, and what they've done for this year, it's shine away from the team sport and more honoring and the individuals, which is not what Kentucky high school golf's been about for 50 years. Yeah. So, we're excited. I know she's excited too, but at the same time, we're a little bummed out that the whole team doesn't get to participate.
I was going to ask both of you: Are you going to go take? Are you going to bring the whole team with
yes.
you? I mean,
I am.
All 5 girls are going to go with you.
The girls, I know they are, and I've gave the option to the boys, but I know that it's also hard on some of the boys where they might not want to, and it's not that they don't want to go support their friends, but who knows? They have the option to go, but I'm not going to make them go. Yeah. It's a long 3 days down there, especially not playing when you want to be playing. Yeah. But with me having a young team that I have everybody back next year, obviously I'm going to encourage them to go to kind of see the experience and what it's all about. But I'm also kind of curious to what it's going to be about as well, how much different of an atmosphere it is for years. Even last year, I mean, it's a great atmosphere. The people down in Bowling Green do a great job, and that's the one thing. The Kentucky State, the state tournament gets a lot of, it's a great grand tournament and they do a lot of good, but I think it's a lot to do with the people of Bowling Green and not so much a KHSAA, and that's sure. And that's just in my opinion. I mean, that's how I feel about it as a coach, as a player.
They technically don't run the tournament. They have to hire rules officials and golf people who know how to run tournaments to run this event. They just show up and hand out the award with the KHSA.
At the end of the day,
and they think this is going to help spur on opportunity for coaches, college coaches, to come down, and really will decrease that participation, because the girls and boys who need to go to college will be seen on the individual tournaments during the summer.
Yeah,
and so. That's how it's going to be, because I've had a board of control member tell me, well, more coaches will come down under this system, and I said, you're absolutely wrong.
Yeah, I agree there.
Well, let's obviously everyone's disappointed, but let's kind of highlight the positives of the year.
I know.
I think you said yesterday, we talked the other day, and you played in 12 tournaments. I think you said you had three
wins, 6 seconds, 2 thirds. Right. Never finished worse than third. Mm-hmm. Our scoring average got down to 317 for the year, and the 2 tournaments that we won, we playing the ball down. Most of the time in these invitationals, we have to play the ball up, and when you play the ball down, that brings the better players to the front. Mm-hmm. And we played it down Monday with firm, fast greens and firm, fast fairways, and we were still able to finish only 10 shots behind LCA. And they're an exceptional team with 4 seniors and a sophomore. And they struggled down the stretch. We struggled down the stretch too, I don't think my girls had that much internal pressure that they put on themselves as they did Monday.
Yeah. And you guys played a tremendous schedule. I mean, every event you were in, LCA, St. X, Trinity, you hung with a lot of those big boys all year long.
Yeah, so I think we played in 15 events. Again, I don't have it down to the T like Coach does, but we did have 2 wins in smaller tournaments. But again, it's good to get in a few smaller tournaments just to get the confidence rolling. That's why we kind of stay in a few of those, but for the most part, 10 to 12 of those events you're playing Lexington or Louisville with the big dogs every weekend, and we never finished. Heck, it's what's weird is our low score of the year prior to region was 297, and we finished in 7th place. But that just shows, there was the strength of golf for boys golf this year was very strong. That was 3 teams out of, or that was actually 4 teams out of Louisville that beat us, and then LCA, and then we were, the 6th place. So, we had a great year overall. And like I said, we had a lot of highs and a few lows, but overall, with the young team, you want to have a learning year. And I definitely think we got better as the year went on, and the kids matured and grew up a lot. And I was worried going into the region. I mean, most of the time you kind of start clicking as the season gets going. You kind of get some momentum going, and we never really did. But the kids surprised me really, and they showed up. Even though we lost, and that's what's crazy. Most of the time you come in second, like I said, you're thrilled. You're still going to state. Even though we lost as a coach, you've got to really give the credit to LCA. I mean, for them to step up, they had 3 seniors step up, 2 of them, go first, second in the tournament. My kids, like I told you earlier, did a tremendous job. No reason at all to hold their heads down because they did everything I asked. And like I said, from start to finish, it's unbelievable, how much better they got and how much maturing they did, which is what you want as a coach, going into next year with everybody back.
Yeah.
Well, for our region, we had 6 teams ranked in the top 10 at one time.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Crazy good.
Yeah.
Crazy good.
Yeah.
But that just shows you the strength of golf in Central Kentucky for girls. It may change next year because we have a lot of seniors.
Yeah.
But it's phenomenal to think that those girls are going to move on and play someplace else.
Yeah.
But I've got three good ones coming back for next year, and some younger ones to fill in for Mattie, Joe, and Reagan.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to next week because the girls are first, right?
Correct.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yes.
And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday practice round, and we'll play Friday, Saturday.
And you both have kids who could win the state championship.
Yes.
Mattie, Joe obviously
Definitely.
Lost the region in a one-hole playoff, and she beat the top kids in the state 2 weekends ago in an all-state championship tournament. So she very well could go up there and win the whole thing.
Absolutely. And I'm sure she has that focus already determined to try to do that because of being her last year and the amount of practice she's put in.
Yeah,
and she was left off last year of the all-state points in the team due to a technicality so this year they have changed that. And so she's making sure no stone is unturned that she won't be on that team.
Yeah.
Well, of course, as an 8th grader, she was part of the state championship team.
Correct.
So maybe she could finish it out with an individual state championship. That'd be a nice look.
That would be a wonderful way to go out.
Yeah. And of course, Clay Pendergrass last year as an 8th grader.
Third.
One under, he finished, 4th or 3rd? It's 4th.
I don't know. Maybe 4th, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. 4th place, as an 8th grader. Yep. And so I know, the course fits him really well. And obviously coming off that, he's got to be feeling good, and he's hitting the ball better than he has all year. So I know he's excited and the best. And then, like I said, having his best friend Cooper beside him definitely has to help him make it the trip a little more fun. And Cooper's hitting the ball as good as anybody this time too. So I think the course fits them both good, and that's the main thing. Bowling Green is tough. It's probably one of the more challenging courses we play all year. Just by it's hard. Greens get tough. there's trouble out of bounds, there's weeds everywhere. So it is a challenging course, but I do think the course fits them both very well, that they'll both go down, compete, and represent Madison Central very well.
Yeah.
I've got you here. I have to do this, Steve.
Oh, gosh.
Coming up in November, you got a big day coming up in November.
52 days, buddy.
52 days.
52 days. So.
And people don't know you're getting married.
Yes, sir.
Jenny Cornelison.
Jenny Cornelison, yeah.
Yeah. You guys have kind of been dating, I guess, off and on for years, right?
So went to prom together my junior year, her senior year, and that nothing really came from that. And we got to college, and good friends from there. And by the time her senior year came around, I guess she says time to settle down, and I got to be the lucky guy. And we've been together, working on four and a half years now, and so 52 days away until the big day's here.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Yep. Thank you, Nathan. And we appreciate you for all the work you do for us, and the boys. Love you, seeing you at tournaments, and thanks for everything you do for them.
No, I appreciate it. You guys are always helpful with the information. I know Randy Neeley also sends a lot of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Between the two of you, it's been great. And so I have to give you a hard time because I ran into you and Jenna at a local establishment. And shortly after you had proposed. And,
it might have been that. Yeah, it might have been the next night.
Yeah, but she said something like, "Well, he's still mad at me because I scored more points." They both played basketball. But she was a much better basketball player than he was.
She scored more points in one game than I did my whole career. Promise you that.
Very happy for you.
Thank you, Nathan.
It seemed like I've seen you guys together for forever.
Yes, sir.
And she was out there yesterday.
Supporting, yep. She's my number one supporter, so she's good to put up with me.
Well, thank you all so much for coming in. I know this is all kind of bittersweet. Like I said, it's a great accomplishment to be second, but the way they changed the rules, it kind of takes it kind of puts a damper on that a little bit, which sucks. But that's life. At least you'll be up there in Bowling Green next week.
Sort of like what Kyle said. At least Mattie, Joe, and Reagan, who are best friends, get to go out together.
Yeah, can't ask for anything more than that.
Absolutely.
Other than
all right.
Many
thanks.
Thanks, Nathan. Appreciate you, man. Yes, sir.
We'll be right back with Mattie Jo Neeley and Reagan Clark.
Thank you for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show, brought to you by Nuevo Vallarta.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are here with Madison Central Lady Indian golfers Reagan Clark and Mattie Jo Neeley. And the Madison Central Lady Indians finished second Monday over at Keene Trace in the Region 9 tournament. They came up 324, 10 strokes behind LCA. Unfortunately, they will not, as a team, be going on to the state tournament next week in Bowling Green, but these two young ladies did qualify as individuals, so they will get a chance to go up there and try to compete for an individual state championship. So just both of you, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A little bittersweet that the whole team doesn't get to go. I mean, obviously disappointing, even though you both get to go individually.
Yeah, it's certainly disappointing just because this is our last year and it's the first year that this rule has been in place. So it was kind of we really tried our best that day. I mean, our team played the best we could and just came up a little bit short.
Right?
Yeah, what I
said. Reagan's a very soft-spoken young lady, so we're going to try to get something out of her. Well, obviously, it's tough to go over there and play LCA at Keene. Mm-hmm. It's basically their home course over there in Nicholasville. Mm-hmm. A couple of the girls like to live on that course, actually have houses on that course.
Yes, two of them.
Like 2 years ago, you played over there, and we're also second place, mm-hmm. and it was fast greens. It was a blazing hot day. Just talk about the conditions in the round.
The greens were actually rolling at a 13, which is basically unheard of for high school golf and a lot of summer tournament play. But they were crazy fast, and the ground was so dry and so hard that if the pin was on the front of the green, you'd have to shoot the pin, shoot the front of the green, and then subtract 10, and that's where your ball needed to land. I mean, even sometimes when you club down, they would still bounce and just roll and roll and roll at the bottom of the green. Wedges weren't sticking, chip shots weren't sticking. You just had to barely hit it and hope it stopped somewhere near the hole.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, Reagan, at this time of year to be that hot, it's definitely some unusual conditions. I mean, you've been playing, varsity golf for 4 years, and this late in the year to be that hot, kind of talk about the conditions.
Yeah, it was really hard to figure out what club you needed to hit due to the fact that the greens were so dry and rolling that fast. It was definitely challenging, and a lot of the scores were higher because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, despite the conditions, you went 1 under, and you and Laney Fry from LCA tied. And also, I guess she had a 2-shot lead, and did she double bogey the last hole?
Yes. Well, see, we're used to it playing as a 72 par, and they turned number 9 into a par 5 and backed us up to the tee, so they played at par 73.
Okay.
So she was 4 under going into the last hole. So I finished 2 under, and she was 4 under, and I was fully expecting her to make her 4-foot bogey putt and beat me by a stroke, and she missed it. And I just looked at Dad, and I was like, all right, let's do it again.
And
More golf.
Yeah, and you had just been part of a playoff with her the week before that, the weekend before that at the KGCA All-State Championship. And there were 4 of you in that one, only 2 this time. And I guess you didn't get a very good tee shot off on the extra hole, did you?
No, I hit it a lot better during the regular round. I should have aimed more left. The wind was kind of in my face, pushing to the right, and it went straight in the bunker. Thankfully, I hit a good shot out of it and a great shot onto the green, but I mean, she stuck it to 20 feet and made an eagle putt, so if you're going to lose, at least go out that way.
Yeah, it's so interesting to watch you and Laney, because you guys have played forever. I walked with you up 2 and 3, and you're just like friends, just talking and chatting and laughing. And I mean, obviously, I know you guys want to beat each other, but it's just so funny that you're just like, almost like sisters almost. I mean, you guys are just having a good time out there.
Yeah, we've been playing together for so long, and now competing as the number 1 spots for the 2 best teams in the state. I mean, we just teeter-totter back and forth with who was going to win this week, who's going to win next week.
Yeah.
So next week will certainly be interesting.
Yeah. All right, Reagan, looking forward to next week. You've been up there the last 3 years with the team. You know the course pretty well. We're going to kind of talk about the Bowling Green Country Club and what that experience is like up there.
Yeah, it's definitely an experience. It's a really tight course with lots of trees, so you kind of have to play fairways and greens, or you will be high numbers. But hope to go out there and show out.
Yeah. We'll talk about your round on Monday. Kind of, was it 82, 81?
81.
81. We'll talk about your round.
It was kind of like an up and down day. Like I'd make a birdie, but then I'd follow it up with a bogey. And I was in the sand basically the whole day. And I'm not good with the sand, so.
Should have wore flip-flops then.
That was rough, but just had to grind out and just hope that I made the cut.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, Tennye Orr tells me that the whole team is going to go, even though the rest of them didn't qualify. So you guys will hopefully be able to be up there like normal, up in a hotel for 2 days and having fun and just spending time together and kind of be like normal, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're all going up. I think we're going up Sunday after church, and I think they're coming up Monday night after our practice round. So me and Ray will play our practice round, and then the girls will be there. We'll probably go eat dinner, hang out that night, and then get up next morning and go play.
Yeah. And you got to feel like you got a chance to win the whole thing. I mean, you won the All-State Championship 2 weeks ago, which is a tougher field than this will be.
Exactly.
So you got to feel like you have a chance.
I do feel like I have a chance. That's certainly my goal. Me and Laney kind of talked about it because we went into region tied in All-State points, and she got me with she might be 20 or so points ahead of me after region, and it's basically up in the air. Whoever wins state's winning it all.
Yeah. It is worth noting, we mentioned it earlier in the show, but Mattie was the homecoming queen on Friday night. You look surprised. It was funny to me because I'm down there, everybody's kind of milling around, and everyone's like, yeah, Mattie's going to win.
I had no idea.
And then you looked so surprised when they actually
I did. I had no idea. Well, because I didn't think I did great in my interview for homecoming, and they said who was second place, and it's one of our best friends, and I looked at my dad, and I was like, it's all right. I didn't think I did that great in my interview. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, it's okay. We just had fun.
Yeah. Emma Rupert was second.
Mm-hmm, yeah. She was.
Yeah. All right. Well, Reagan, anything else to add there? You're so quiet over there.
No.
Okay. Well, we appreciate both of you coming up, and we'll definitely come up this weekend to watch you play Monday and Tuesday. Or the practice round on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Yes.
And there's no cut, so regardless, your football's going to make the cut. but no cut this year, so everybody comes back for the second day. So good luck to both of you. Look forward to watching
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after this.
Thank you for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show, brought to you by Nuevo Vallarta.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are here with Madison Central golfers Cooper Eberly and Clay Pendergrass, and they are headed to Bowling Green next week for the KHSAA State Tournament. They qualified for that by their great performances Tuesday over at Kearney Hill in the Region 9 tournament. Thank you guys for being on.
Thank you for having us.
Being here. Kind of like we were saying with the coaches there, it's got to be kind of a bittersweet moment for you guys to both get to qualify individually at the state, but because of the rule change this year, the whole team doesn't get to go. So kind of, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing to know that we played the best we have all year and still came up just barely a little short to LCA, and we don't get to go. That's disappointing, but, at least two of us on the same team are going, and that's always plus.
It's disappointing to know also that we put up a number, I believe, at Kearney that would have beat, the state tournament's a 2-day tournament, so if you would have multiplied what we shot at Kearney by 2, the number we put up on the region at Tuesday would have been much better than what we came in fourth with last year at state. So it's just unfortunate to know that we could have competed up there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't good enough to go with the rule change.
Yeah, 293, just 3 strokes behind LCA. In years past, it has been two teams from each region. This year, it's only one. Maybe they'll change that rule in the future. Who knows at this point?
Let's hope.
Yeah, I would hope.
But let's not worry about that too much. Let's look forward. Obviously, we can't change what we can't change.
Right.
Yeah.
You qualified. Obviously, the state, the team was the runner-up in the region last year. You got to go to the state.
Yep.
And as an 8th grader in your first ever state tournament appearance, you finished 4th.
I know, that's still crazy to me. That's definitely my best memory so far.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can make a better one this year.
As an 8th grader, did you go up there where you were, obviously you weren't intimidated? You weren't.
No pressure on me. So, going out there and playing, getting 4th, that was awesome for me,
Yeah. And coming back this year, you know the course well, obviously.
Yeah.
Not only at the state, but you guys play it other times of the year as well. So, kind of your expectations coming in.
I'm hoping that I can live up to what I did last year, and I feel like my game's good enough right now to go down there and put a good showing on, and maybe do a little bit better than I did last year.
Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about Tuesday over at Kearney. You were right in the mix there. Kind of how'd your round go?
Yeah, I hit the ball awesome all day, and I hit 15 greens and only shot 1 under. So it just shows you that my putting needs a little bit of work, and I really didn't get anything to fall except for my eagle putt on 18, which was the longest putt I made all day, and it was only like 15 feet. So if that tells you anything, I didn't putt too good, but hopefully I can make a few changes and improve it before Bowling Green.
Yeah, Coop, it was especially for this late in the year, just the horrible conditions out there. Just so hot, and the course was just scorched. It was brown, and it's a links style course anyway, so it's not going to be a lush, lavish green course. But obviously, it was tough sledding out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really different because normally throughout the high school golf season, when you think of region at Kearney, you get ready for wind, you get ready for it to be raining possibly, you get ready for it to play like a long, windy, tough golf course. And this year, the scores were lower than the past years, and that's in large part because the conditions were just so different than the usual region. It being dry, the ball's going to go further in the air and roll more. And the green still held pretty well despite how burnt it was. So the course was playing pretty scoreable, and that showed in the scores, I feel like.
Yeah, and you got to play at the state last year, right?
Yes, sir.
Talk about your first experience there.
Bowling Green last year was so fun going up with the team. My first year with Madison Central, getting to go to state and hang out with the guys in the hotel. And Bowling Green was an awesome course. It was so fun to play. And I think a part of me, where it was my first year at state, I was a little intimidated because I had never been on that stage before. And I feel like this year, where I've had that experience, I know the golf course, I'm prepared to go down there with a little more confidence, knowing I have the game under my belt, and be able to put out a better showing I did last year.
Yeah, I mean, you guys shouldn't be intimidated by anybody. The schedule you play, I mean, every week it's LCA, St. X, Trinity. I mean, it's all those top teams every week. So this is nothing new to you guys,
Right. I mean, yeah, we're up there competing with the top dogs every weekend. So, I mean, I think we only went to like 2 tournaments where there wasn't like a powerhouse full of teams.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, Coop, you mentioned that you were at Model and you transferred over back, because I'm sure a lot of people know your family and the great golfing tradition in your family. And your sister's on the girls' team, and she just missed out on qualifying. Unfortunately, she lost in the playoff, or she would have been there too. And of course, your dad over at Gibson Bay, your Jason is the pro over there. So I mean, obviously golf is just in your blood, I guess.
It's a big part of my family. Yeah, we try, and when we're at the house just hanging out as a family, we try and keep the golf talk away because it gets a little intense sometimes. But I mean, it's something we can all bond over at the end of the day, and it brings something for us to come together and talk about. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah. What kind of got you into golf then?
My dad. I mean, I've been out on the golf course since I was like just 5, just beating balls, and then finally started to love it, picked up on it, and now I'm here.
Yeah, I guess you played a lot of those the junior tours.
Yeah, I mean, I was like 8 or 9 starting my first Larry Gilbert tournaments, and then that just sent my whole golf career, set it off, you know.
Yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys being here. Congratulations on both of you making the state tournament.
Thank you.
I know it's a bittersweet experience, but go up there and you can play for your teammates. And I think Coach Congleton said that hopefully the whole team's going to come up and they're going to have
hopefully
that same family kind of atmosphere, and you can have a nice 2 nights in a hotel and have some fun and fun and everything. So appreciate you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations
to both of you guys.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Thank you for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show, brought to you by Nuevo Vallarta.
Almost 2 decades. That's right, I've covered local sports in Madison County for almost 2 decades. The Madison Central Indians, the Madison Southern Eagles, the Model Patriots, the Berea Pirates, the EKU Colonels, and the Berea College Mountaineers. I've covered them all. Football, basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball, track, cheerleading, golf, youth sports, and more. It's all being covered by the Richmond Register. Join us for a brand new weekly sports program. Watch the Richmond Register Sports Show every Thursday at 9 p.m. Be sure to like, share, and follow us on all our social networks, and to subscribe to the Richmond Register online or get your own subscription delivered. If it's sports in Madison County, we cover it.